Welcome back to Live at Urban Wild. Today is Sunday, March 12th, 2023, and we're back in the park. We were here yesterday too, of course. We don't record videos on Saturday. You have to give Instagram a break. We're showing the morning feedings. Yes, it's going a little bit earlier as we try to come out with a sunrise. This is of course after I've already set up and laid things out, just illustrating that this park, as we keep calling it, this park is not much of a park. It's more like a dumping zone. As you can see in the area, in the distance there are chairs and old speakers. There's a swimming pool or whatever this raft is. Other junk that's always thrown here. We try to mitigate what we're doing through that. We try to clean up a little bit when we can. That's cute, watching that kitten coming through the hole in the wall there. So I just want to show that this is not a common public park that's used and that we are encroaching upon it. This is actually a dumping zone that was extremely neglected before we started coming here, and hazardous and dangerous and unwelcoming for all sorts of reasons. And in the efforts that we make in coming to make this a safe place to feed the cats, for all the different reasons why we do that, it also has become a safe place for humans. This has actually become a usable space. People don't remember what it was like not too long ago until we see now the acts of new garbage being thrown. Here is more garbage, which I, throughout the time that I'm here, spend time cleaning up. But also, as I mentioned in other videos, has encouraged the city cleaners, who are paid to do this through the property taxes, to pay more attention to this part of the area. Just focusing for a moment on this cat here is one of the cats that has an injured back. Not sure what's wrong with it, but it has an injured back, and when the city vets come, we have to identify and recognize that cat. It's that big one there that's about to jump on the wall, has an injury on its back. It's still open wound. You can see it, unfortunately. With PCRMI, People's Committee for Responsible Management, in Israel and internationally, we're trying to lobby people to volunteer, but also the authorities to allow us to take over management, not ownership and not control, but just management of common resources like space like this, in order to better them with an agenda that serves the public. And of course, in the public here, we're including the cats. If someone else doesn't, because they don't pay taxes, I understand, but they are doing a service for the public that they're not getting compensated for. So regardless of how you want to call it, we do include the cats in the constituency without asking for any more allocations for them. And they're doing their job, because without the cats, of course, we'd have rodent problems, snake problems, other type of invasive creature problems, which is why they were introduced in the first place. They're introduced for that purpose. And if it wouldn't be for the fact that there was an ongoing need for them, they wouldn't have survived and thrived to the point where they're themselves an invasive species, only if we think that we are the ones who belong here in the first place. Just to show the junk mentality here. This is a junk yard zone just beyond the park. That isn't much of a park. So the cats, as we see, are doing well, surviving, some thriving, and of course then there's those who just come because they're coming to me for attention. I'm not walking around with food. How and what we're doing next is an extension of everything we're talking about all the time, between sharing food, whether it's a soup kitchen, an online catering, whether it's a cafe, a restaurant, whether it's a hospitality or a shelter, whatever it is, we try to provide safety and calm and healthy food and clean water and a safe environment to regain strength, regain focus and purpose. We try to help people find forgiveness, compassion, hope, and trust, which are the driving factors towards progress. peaceful progress, we believe. This is what we preach and what we teach and what we share. With the cats, through the cats, but of course with people also. There are many people that we feed in addition to the cats. People that we teach nutrition to, that we share nutrition skills and food with. And all for the purpose of enhancing and enforcing and strengthening the abundance mentality that we know exists. It's just that it's behind some veil. Showing here the common food piles, how they're unaccosted, which means that not all the cats have come out. Also means we're still relatively early for the ones that usually come a little bit later. Sorry, that simply kicked what we call our pedicurist. He's always by my feet, he or she. That's Stumpy. There's Aphrodite. Some of our other new constituents. Tomorrow we have an appointment at 6 o'clock. A little bit earlier than it is now, in less than 24 hours. Look at this wood here. With the city vet to come to collect the cats that need spaying and neutering, to try to avoid the overpopulation. These two kittens are prime candidates to be upgraded. That one's already been fixed. Just showing, like I said, the abundance mentality. The cats don't live here. The cats don't normally come here for food. The fact that I come here one time a day with food takes off that whole scarcity mentality, that whole predatory angle of the cats, of the wild animals. And they can walk by entire spreads of food like this, not feel compelled to eat it because it might be their last meal. And there's other spaces like this that are open, that they're aware of, that they're familiar with, that when they see me standing here, it tells them there's food, like this one. The fact that they're not pouncing on the food, there's enough to go around, to share, to leave behind, is the key to what we're explaining about abundance mentality. There's enough for everyone to go around. The same thing that we're showing here for cats, the same thing that we show and teach for humans. There's all sorts of food left still behind here. Here, this doesn't represent much, but there's some scrapings. Here, there's some bits. This is Limpy, and the fact that Limpy prefers my attention to eating means that despite the fact that this is an injured cat that's, normally would not have a good chance of surviving in the wild, not only is he surviving, he or she, but thriving. And the morsels aren't the key issue, although sure, they're nice, but you can see that they're not starving. That's the key that I'm trying to show. There's other pieces left behind here, over here. So cats have eaten, satisfied, moved on. And of course then there's the ones who come for the attention, which is an important element, an important aspect. It's real. I try to give that to them also. Beyond the time that I spend on the camera, I redistribute the food, as I say every time, and I give them personal attention. Like this one here, which we call Aphrodite, is definitely in this space now waiting for attention. Same thing with Limpy here. I'll be going off camera soon to, as I say, redistribute the food and to give the ones attention that need attention. But it's important to show and to bear witness to what we're doing, both for the sake of our documentary that's coming up, and also for the sake of when we approach the authorities, in this case the city workers, to explain and to demonstrate what we're doing. It helps to have real live coverage, which is why we take videos 6 days a week when we can, and photographs, and share the information with the authority when necessary, with the authorities, whether it comes to the city vets for injured cats or other reasons, or whether it comes to the law enforcement because of cruelty to animals or other issues done here. We're not looking to get anyone in trouble, we're just looking to restore the balance and the peace and the harmony. On that happy note, I'm going to be signing off so I can do the other things that I need to do here. And wishing everyone a wonderful rest of your day and week. And if you're still celebrating your Sabbath, you should have a wonderful rest of your Sabbath. And wishing you a wonderful upcoming week. As well that you have come. Infinite love and gratitude. All the best. And here's Aphrodite.